A very good morning and welcome to Africa and Beyond Television Network. And this morning, let us take a look on the Mnangagwa son, David Mnangagwa. He made a statement in parliament, and we need to reflect onto that statement and respond accordingly. Remember, Zimbabwe is being run by clueless people, and this is the reason why things continue to be hard.
Speaker said, economics is a practical reality. Whilst we accept that fundis can go to college and school and learn theories, economics at the level of governance must be practiced, and it must be practical.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Indeed, economics is a very practical subject, Mr. Speaker, sir. And I'm not an economics student, but there is no economic theory for multi-currency. That is the reality, Mr. Speaker, sir. And if I can highlight, Mr. Speaker, sir, the easiest thing for government to do would be to dollarize, the easiest thing. But that is the worst thing that we can do for our country. It is the easiest thing, but it is the worst thing we can do. What will happen over time, over years? Zimbabwe will deindustrialize. Some of the progress we've been making as a country, we'll see those dividends dissipate. Our children will have no jobs in the future. We will become a supermarket of other nations. We will attract the worst elements. These are the effects of dollarization. I agree it is the easiest thing to do, but it is the worst thing to do for the country. Now, what you're seeing is a competition between the ZiG and the US dollar within our economy. On a sliding scale, which we want to reach full de-dollarization by a certain period. It will not be easy, it will not be smooth, there will be need for restructure.
So, if we look at the statement by Kuda Mnangagwa, will dollarization make Zimbabwe deindustrialized? Personally, I want to argue. The US dollar, which is being used in Zimbabwe in scapegoating for a very long time, the US dollar is not the problem. The multi-currency system is not the problem. The problem is the RBZ. The problem is the Ministry of Finance. The problem is corruption. I'm going to explain. If in Zimbabwe I had 10,000 United States dollars in 2018, in 2019, that 10,000 United States dollars was looted from me. Imagine I'm a business and you loot my money, my 10,000 from me. What it means is we deindustrialize, we close. Companies closed because their monies were looted by this government. Their monies were looted. I have said this and I will continue to say it. In 2019, you looted all bank accounts in Zimbabwe except for those who were using Nostro angari linked to my Visa cards. Aya angari pa ZIM switch aya takabirwa tese. We lost everything. Despite depositing US dollars, we lost. Companies closed. Businesses closed. That is not an issue yekuti yakakonzereswa ne-user. No. It was caused because they hijacked the United States dollar accounts and looted everything, wiped out everything. This is the reason why at this point in time, Zimbabwe is running at no reserves at all. They don't have reserves. They don't have money in banks because of this. So when you see people not banking their money, businesses not banking their money, it's not because they don't want, it's because they have lost money. And still, they still want to survive. They continue to do business. So this issue yekuti mayusi anokonzeresa deindustrialization, this is a lie. Because if I want to invest, I will invest. But the level of investment I make in Zimbabwe depends on the risks associated with making such an investment. When it's too risky for me, I will not invest much. I will put a quarter of my money and I say, let me keep these other eggs because I do not know the outcome. That is point number one. Point number two, the US dollar is becoming useless because of overtaxing. You are overtaxing people. You are overtaxing businesses. Instead of you putting taxes which will allow growth for the businesses, you are overtaxing businesses, which means there is no growth. The majority of the monies which are going towards the government to pay for school fees dzevana vemachef, magirlfriend evana vemachef, nekufamba kwamachef, nekutenga mapurado avo nechi, that money could have been used to expand the business. But you cannot expand the business sector because you are overtaxing them. They can't expand. So you are not looking at for how long have these businesses been in operation? How old are these businesses? These are businesses which resumed during GNU, worked for just a few years, and started to face turmoils soon after the GNU. These are the same businesses you are overtaxing. That is so wrong. So you would see that instead of the government using other avenues to raise revenue, for example, the government can easily establish its own mines, run its own mines, have more revenue from those mines. But our government is relying on what do you call it? That money on royalties. Royalties are nothing. So instead of the government to focus on mining and have bigger revenues, they are getting royalties, which are useless. Then they go to overtax the people in the businesses, small businesses. Yet these mines, they are going scot-free, unmonitored, because vanoenda vonotengesa lithium yavo inobuda iri raw. Nobody knows kuti chi chabuda chaicho, what value did we get? Because they underdeclare everything. Yet the businesses paying taxes, the businesses carrying the burdens of Zimbabwe are the ones which are being overexploited at this point in time. So Kuda is simply misleading the people. Whatever Kuda is saying is very, very 100% clueless. Economics must be practical. Let us do things which are practical, and it's very easy to save the economy of Zimbabwe, because Zimbabwe is one of the countries with the best opportunities. Zekuti, we can employ our people to the last point. The global world is transitioning. We are moving into the use of technology. But Zimbabwe, payakamira at this point in time, cannot simply transition, move into full technology. No, we can't. There are certain things which we need to do so that we catch up with other countries in terms of infrastructure development, which gives Zimbabwe an advantage when it comes to full utilization of its own human resource. Full utilization of its own resource, and making sure that we cover the gap. While we are covering the gap, we are empowering our people, growing our economy, utilizing those opportunities. The government is not looking at all those angles. The government is solely focusing on punishing people. That is the government which we have in Zimbabwe. A government which will never support any idea, but to come with things and they impose the things on people. So when you hear vanakuda vachiti multi-currency ndo yakonzeresa, they are scapegoating. They were talking about sanctions recently. Yeah, sanctions, sanctions, abviswa sanctions haya. Multi-currency. The problem is not multi-currency. The problem are policies which are causing people not to bank their money. Hakuna munhu ari kuda kugara nemari yake kumba, but because ukaisa mari yako inotopera iri mubank, no interest. Hakuna munhu anozvida izvozvo. Ukaisa mari yako mubank, kana wakuida hauiwani, hakuna munhu anoda izvozvo. ukaisa mari yako mubhengi panochinja mapolicies inolutwa, hakuna munhu ari kuda izvozvo. So if you look at all these things, this is the reason why you are seeing the economy sinking. Just correct, put my interest rates kuti ndikaisa mari yangu inobereka. Tangai kuzviita muone kuti vanhu vaisere mari mubhengi. Ngatiisei mari mubhengi yochengetedzeka pandinoida ndonoiwana, and see if we are not going to bank money. Ngatiisei mari mumabanks and let every currency work uniformly. Kwete zvokuti zigi ndikaenda nezingi mubhengi harikwanise kuita any other thing ndonzi uya neuser. How do you think that things are going to work just like that? You introduced the currency wrongly. You are trying to force a currency which can never be trusted, which the people of Zimbabwe will never accept because it's not guaranteed by anything. There is no trust, there is lack of confidence and everything else. So this is Team Zimbabwe. Your views are of much importance, but to me, Kuda is so incompetent and useless.